Hello, welcome to PIPS on Location. I'm Inspector Frank Maule of the Wilmington Fire Department. On today's show, we'll be at the Wilmington Fire Marshal's office located on the 3rd floor of the City County building. We'll be talking first with Lieutenant Gabe Pabone about the day-to-day activities of the Wilmington Fire Marshal's office. Next, we'll be talking with Inspector Mike Horgan about the tools they use when they investigate a fire. But first, I'd like to explain to you why you, a city resident or business person, would need to come here to the City Fire Marshal's office. This is our reception area with the Fire Marshal's office. When you come in, you would be greeted by one of our administrative staff or one of the inspectors. These are some of the plans that we have here that the general public or business person would need when they come in if they're looking for some sort of permit to start a business or, say, a daycare function in their home. First thing we have here is a plans review application. This is a general form that you would have to fill out. Next we have here is a form on being an impairment. This would be if you have a sprinkler system out in your business and you need to get it worked on. You would need to come in and get one of these forms. We also have a new form here called for a Knox box. This would be a box that we have on the side of a building that you would keep your keys in, so in the evening hours when your business is closed, when the fire department have to show up for a run, they can get into this box and have the keys inside. These are the forms for that. Last here we have a sample drawing for if a person was going to start a home daycare. All these forms right now are located on the Wilmington Fire Marshal's office website. We're putting a phone number also on the bottom of the screen right now, so if you have any questions or comments and you need to call the Fire Marshal's office, you can do so at this time. I'd like to welcome Inspector Julio Reyes to the show. Inspector Reyes is going to go ahead now and talk in Spanish about the forms that I just went over. Inspector Reyes, go ahead.
Bueno, aquí son algunas de las aplicaciones que necesitan ustedes si van a hacer algún negocio o van a abrir un cuido para niños en la ciudad de Wilmington. Como verán, aquí está la aplicación. En esta está aquí el permiso para hacer el negocio. Si tienes un negocio y necesitas instalar una caja para una llave cuando tú no estás en tu casa o tu cuido de niño o negocio, pero tú llamas a este departamento y nosotros instalamos esta caja. Así, si hay un fuego, ellos pueden venir a abrir esta caja con una llave especial que solamente el departamento de fuego tiene y pueden abrir, entrar a tu negocio y así extinguir el fuego. Y por último, tienes un plano que es más o menos algo general que tienes que someter cuando haces un cuido para niños en tu casa.
Thank you so much, Inspector Reyes, for having you on the show today.
Gracias.
Good morning, Lieutenant Pabone. How are you doing today, sir?
Good morning, Frank. How's it going?
Good, sir. We want to welcome Lieutenant Gabriel Pabone to the show today. Lieutenant Pabone is one of the officers here in the Wilmington Fire Marshal's office, and he's going to go over some of the things that we do here in the Fire Marshal's office on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for being on the show, Lieutenant.
Thanks, Frank. No problem.
How long have you had on the fire department now, Lieutenant?
I'm working. I have 16 years on the job now.
Okay. And how long have you been here in the Fire Marshal's office?
I was recently here. I was here in the past, and I've been here for about 10 months now on my second assignment.
Okay. And what is your daily assignment here in the Fire Marshal's office?
My job is to oversee the inspectors that are assigned to the office, to schedule their day-to-day basis. My job is to supervise the inspectors that are assigned to the office. Also supervise the code enforcement day-to-day basis that are going in. Also handle complaints that come from either the public or fire alarm companies. Also supervise the fire investigations that the inspectors are working on.
Okay,
the investigators.
So basically, the Fire Marshal's office is the law enforcement part of the fire department then?
You could say that. We are the code enforcement aspect of the fire department. Currently, we have 4 inspectors that are assigned to the office. All 4 of them are law enforcement officers. They've all attended a accredited police academy within Wilmington Fire Department, Wilmington Police Department. I'm sorry. And we currently have 4 assigned to this office. We have 2 that are currently in the police academy now, and we have 2 that are assigned to the administrative office, and we have 4 that are assigned to suppression companies. So in total, we have 12 officers, 12 inspectors, investigators that are law enforcement officers and that have completed a Wilmington Police Academy.
That's great. Okay, so they go out on a day-to-day basis. When you were saying they enforce things, so they go to different buildings and businesses within the city, make sure that they're up to code, correct?
That's correct. We get complaints in. We either get complaints in from fire alarm companies, we get complaints in from the public, we get complaints from suppression companies that do annual building inspections, and their job is to go out and make sure that the businesses are in compliant with city code, with NFPA codes, and also handle any other complaint or new construction that's being worked on in the city.
Okay. So that's one part of the aspect of the fire marshal's office. Now, one of your main parts of it also is going out and investigating fires, correct?
That's correct. One of the aspects, there's really big 4 components to the fire marshal's office. One of them is code enforcement, as we spoke about. One is plans review. The other one is fire prevention, which the fire prevention unit, which is assigned over in Gilpin Avenue, they mainly handle most of those assignments. And then we have our fire investigation portion of the fire marshal's office. And we have 4 investigators currently assigned to the office. And like I said earlier, we have other investigators that are assigned to suppression that we may use them at any given time. But they do go out, they investigate fires, they investigate the cause and the origin of the fires, and then they handle any incidents where arson is suspected, or whether it's an arson or it's an intentional set fire, or and pretty much, yeah, we do all the investigations coming out of this office.
Okay. Now you mentioned the plans review. What part of that is the fire marshal's office? What does plans review do?
Plans review is, we have one person assigned to the plans review division. That person is the civilian. When businesses come into the city and they are either new businesses or existing businesses and they're doing construction, they must submit plans to the office. That person reviews the plans, makes sure that the construction is being is being met to code. They're following all the necessary codes, the Wilmington fire codes, the Delaware state regulations, and also the NFPA codes and standards. And that person just makes sure that the construction is being approved based on those standards.
Great. Well, Lieutenant, thank you so much for being on the show today. You are a big help, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Problem.
Well, welcome to the show today, Inspector Mike Horgan. Thanks, Mike, for being on the show today.
Anytime.
He's going to be going over a little bit about what they use. These are the tools they use when they go out to investigate a fire. So, Mike, let's start here with some of the cans that we have here and the bag. What is the stuff here used for at a fire scene?
This stuff is to collect evidence. It could be liquid. You know, if there's anything that we think may be an ignitable liquid, we would put it in here.
Like gasoline or petroleum product?
Anything like that, kerosene, whatever. The cans are for collecting debris. A lot of times at a fire scene, we collect pieces of carpeting, pieces of wood, and we'll send them out to the state of Delaware via forensic lab, and they'll test it for any ignitable liquid. And obviously 2 different sizes. They're lined, if you can see.
Okay.
So things don't leak through. Like a lot of things will actually corrode the inside of these, so hopefully that doesn't happen with the liner. Also have bags for things that wouldn't fit in a can, you know, like a bottle or something like that. You know, we can just to throw in here.
All right. Okay.
We also have some scalpels.
All right.
I was mentioning carpeting. If we have to take samples of carpeting, if we think that there was something poured on a carpet,
All right.
you know, we can cut a piece with that.
Okay, great. Now I notice we have the cameras all set up over here. Could you explain what would you do with a camera at a fire scene?
Well, the most important thing with the fire scene is documentation, whether it be taking notes, but also taking pictures. You want to take a picture of everything, everything around, just to kind of, if you have to go back, you know, for a court case or just for your own documentation, you want to take pretty good pictures of everything the scene, outside, inside, people that may be around the scene.
Okay.
We have several types of lenses. If you want to take some close-up shots for, you know, some detailed photographs.
All right.
We have these extra batteries, flashes.
Okay. Great. And I see you have some spotlights here.
Probably the most important tool at a fire scene are these.
Okay.
Because, as you know, anytime there's a fire, our guys cut off the power, so there's no lighting.
Correct.
It's hard to do an investigation without any lights. So
Right.
these are always a good thing to have.
Okay.
These are just some dust masks that we have. You know, a lot of times there's debris everywhere. You don't want to be breathing
The
in.
soot and all, okay.
These don't prevent any of the gases that are in there. It's just for, you know, dust particles.
Gotcha. Now, I know one of the things is when you do an investigation, you have to get your hands dirty, correct?
Absolutely.
So, yes, I know you probably have your gloves on most of the time, your gear. I notice you have an axe here. What would this be here?
We use a lot of the same tools that are on the fire trucks as well. If we have to cut a piece of flooring, if we have to, you know, break something apart to get to
Okay.
an area, you know, we'll use these just as well. All the fire trucks have shovels and buckets. We use them as well because, like you said, it's basically like an excavation. We're, you know, digging through rubble sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Now,
debris.
what kind of schooling have you had, Mike, to be a fire investigator?
I went to the National Fire Academy. They have a 2-week arson investigator course,
Okay.
and the Wilmington Police Academy, because all of us were also police officers as well. We have full arrest powers.
Okay. All right, great. Now, we were talking earlier about the liquids, and kind of sounds like it's pretty scientific. Now, I know not here in Wilmington, but the state of Delaware, they have arson dog, correct?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So now, can we ever use that dog?
Yes, we have several times. They had a new dog put in service last year. Anytime we call, this dog comes from Sussex County, so it can be maybe like a 2 or 3 hour wait.
Right, exactly.
But they come up here quite a bit.
Now,
for us.
what's the dog doing? Sniffing out flammable liquids?
The dogs are trained to hit on any ignitable liquids that are found within the debris. That's how sensitive their nose is.
Okay, so they could go into a room that you suspect maybe somebody's poured some kind of flammable liquid around. The dog will come in, and the dog can hit basically where.
Completely burned out room. They'll walk them in, and the dog will sniff,
Okay.
and it'll just sit at the spot.
Okay.
And then you mark it. Dog will go around any spot that the dog sits or marks. That's an indicator, and that's when we would take a sample of that area in here.
All right. Oh, great. Now, how long have you been doing this, Emily?
I've been doing this almost 8 years. Been with the department almost 16.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Mike, for being on the show today. We appreciate it very much.
Anytime.
Thanks for watching. But before we leave, we want to remind our audience, please change the batteries in your smoke and CO alarms when you change your clocks. We'll see you next time on PIPS on Location.